Let me really, really blunt with you.
Okay.
Because there's some fundamental cracks, and I've seen this before a million times, okay? So a couple of things. I think that your ego got in the way, okay, and your pride. Well, I'm with Cammy today, and she is a floor manager for a Mexican restaurant, and she's moved up fast. She started in 2021 when she quit her photography business and decided to take a job as a host because of COVID, but that led to her passion about leading in the restaurant industry. And now she's really trying to arm herself to be the best manager, become a leader over a manager. And so she's wondering what she can do to fix that, how she can lead her staff. And one of the big things that she wants to solve is guest recovery. How do I properly guest recover so no matter what the situation is, I make sure that I have the tools to make sure the guest leaves happy. I'm gonna break down that system for her, which we've done with over 350 restaurants. We're gonna show her the system, show her the strategy, get her armed, and then show her how to execute at a very high level. With that journey, why did you decide to take on leadership and being a floor manager?
I felt like I could be a good example for the employees. I felt like I could be just lead them, guide them, kind of not so much take on that like boss, I'm in charge role, more of like a big sister or aunt type of role. Like, I'm gonna guide you, help you, this is how we do things here, and just be a leader to them.
Got it, okay. And so that was your main motivation to getting leadership besides obviously the financial aspect of it?
Well, I think working, again, this is the first time I've worked in a restaurant. I've only been doing this since 2021. So the restaurant I originally started at was just a very fun restaurant. It was very nightlife oriented, even though we did do, the brunch, mimosas in the morning, and very much a party atmosphere. It was very fun. So combining that leadership ability I already had in me, I feel like, and combining that with just a fun job, a fun environment, and really cool employees really helped me want to stick around. The company I work for too is pretty good. My boss always tells me too, like, Camille, like you've got like real world experience right now. Like, you're learning on the job. You are not going to taking classes. You are not obviously this is not at all what I went to school for. But yeah, I just kind of gradually falling in love with the industry and the business.
I love that. So you do have a love for the business.
Yeah.
Passion for the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Again, the employees, the environment, the restaurant, even my own bosses. I've never felt, taken advantage of.
Would it be, is there anything, do you have any passion for food or the guest experience?
Well, yeah, who doesn't love food? I love food. I'm a big time foodie. For the guests, realizing now what it takes to bring on that hospitality and maintaining the ambiance, I guess, of the restaurant, and realizing what all of that entails is what kind of kept me going. Always learning new stuff from, my bosses, how we should handle, the ambiance is pretty much our main goal, is handling the ambiance of the restaurant.
So with that being said, I think we should jump into the nitty gritty, right? So I would ask you this, what is your number one function as a floor manager or a manager?
Maintaining the ambiance and making sure all of the employees are working, moving, nobody's slacking off.
Okay. And what does victory look like for you? Like, what does winning look like for you as a manager?
A really great shift, having no customer complaints, making sure everybody is obviously doing their job, but going home not feeling overworked. Just keeping that, camaraderie type of environment between the employees, not a hostile environment between them. That's a successful day.
Okay. And then do you consider yourself a manager or a leader?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And be honest.
I feel like I've seen those surveys all over the internet. I really do feel like I dabble in a little bit of both. I know how to lead the team, be the example. I did struggle a lot with having to be the manager and be a disciplinary. It is something I'm getting a lot more comfortable now. So I would probably say leader first, manager second, but I'm trying to find that fine line and get them to meet in the middle.
Okay, cool. So a little bit of both. All right, so right now, what's your number one issue, right? Just number one bottleneck. Like, this is something that keeps me up at night, that frustrates me. If I had a magic wand and a genie came up to me and said, I'm gonna give you this magic wand and you can wave it over your restaurant, it'll fix one thing forever, what would it be?
Handling customer complaints.
Handling customer complaints, okay.
Yeah. Still maintaining that genuine hospitality while being able to, especially in a world full of Karens right now and everybody wants to complain and try to get something for free, finding that fine line of being able to still give them what they're trying to ask for, but also maintaining our, policies that we have at the restaurant, how we handle business. Yeah.
What's your check average?
My what?
Check average?
Ooh.
Roundabout.
About 150 to 200. Yeah, 150.
For how many people?
About a party of 4 to 5.
Okay. What about, do you know per person? Off the top of your head? Around about? Because 4 to 5, that would probably be what? So 32, 35
40 bucks a person maybe.
Okay. Yeah. That's not bad.
Drink, entree.
Yeah.
Split the appetizer.
That's not bad. Okay, cool. Now we'll go a little bit deeper. Second and third. You got a second wand. What do you want to fix?
Maintaining the ambiance.
What do you mean by maintaining the ambiance?
So our restaurant is set up with a dining area and a bar area, which is completely behind separate doors. We would try to maintain, an upbeat. We play reggaeton music. We play anything, again, upbeat, geared towards our Mexican restaurant vibe. A lot of times we get customers coming in and wanting to request songs on our Spotify or Pandora. And how do we keep, those customers happy, let them know that, hey, we can't really play that music. I know that's what you want, but we need to maintain this. And, well, they do it for me all the time. Well, it's like, oh, now we've got okay, is it, is there, what managers let the customers, or even the servers and bartenders, sometimes they know the code to that iPad and they'll, okay, I got you. I'll put on whatever it is you want. And then a manager walks in and it's like, what music are we playing? This is not the vibe that we're trying to maintain. But yeah, it would just be really maintaining that ambiance that I know that our owners and higher ups want, but still satisfying the customers that come in. Because even each restaurant that we have is in different locations here in Southern California. So even kind of based off the demographics of where the restaurant is at, there's still a difference in what music people like, and just trying to maintain that from restaurant to restaurant.
And a third wand, you have a third magic wand. What are you waving? What are you fixing?
Probably just productivity between the employees, keeping them busy. All restaurants go through their slow period, their slow hours, labor cost, cutting shifts. But just keeping everybody busy, pretty much.
All right.
And nobody feeling like, oh, I'm at work, I'm just bored, can I go home now? That kind of, those things that come along with the employees.
Yeah, 100%. And then what makes a restaurant successful?
Maintaining the ambiance, maintaining the hospitality, just keeping everything consistent and making people want to come back because they know that that's exactly what they're coming back to. They're going to get that exact same service every single time.
And then a last question, and then we'll jump into everything. What is your goal, your end goal?
Good question. I don't see myself as a restaurant owner, if that's where we're headed. Maybe another GM position at a different restaurant. Really just continuing to learn everything I can in this business right now. I don't really see myself going too far. I'm still fairly new, so I know I have a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so okay, and we'll kind of start reverse engineering here. So first, the question I want to ask is what's your end goal, right? So your end goal is to be a GM, maybe at another restaurant. Mm-hmm. And so that's one thing I want to talk to you about because you are newer in the industry. And so that comes with good things and bad things, right? The good part about being new in the industry, especially being a new leader, is you don't have a lot of baggage and you're not set in your ways, which is really important. And that's one thing I would encourage you walking away with today is making sure that you're always learning. Open book. There is no set way. There is no right way, right? We're just always learning, always growing. How can we get better? You can learn from people who are less skilled than you. You can obviously learn from people who are more skilled than you, but you can always learn. And that's the mindset that will be the most valuable to any brand, right? We interview, I've done assessments with 1,000 restaurants. We've worked with over 350 worldwide. I can tell you right now, I've spoken to every owner, every GM, every director of operations. The number one thing that we tell them to look for and the number one thing that they do look for is someone who says, I'm always open and willing to learn and honestly mean it. And when they come into their business and have that mentality, it's priceless, right? Because it's rare. right? Because especially as your skill set gets better, you start thinking, I know best. I know best in situations. I know what it is. And that's the way it is. Really want to say is, how do we always get better constantly, right?
Just keeping an open mind.
Keeping an open mind. Even if a server comes to you with an idea, you know, how am I listening to see? Doesn't mean I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
But I do want to hear, like, what is your point of view, right?
Exactly.
Just like right now, like your ownership should talk to you and ask you, what do you think? How can we run this place better? What can make it more successful? Because you're going to have data that they don't have because they're not on the floor every single day, right? And you're going to have data that your other floor managers aren't going to have, and that your GM won't have, because your perspective is your perspective. So it's important. So that's one. Two is like what you're in, the position you're in as leadership is I tell people this all the time, is like the sky's the limit. Like if you're willing to learn and you're willing to grow and you're willing to put in the work, once you get into GM and then regional manager, director of operations, when you have companies that have those roles and you're able to get in those roles become very, very profitable. Sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted to get this out really quickly because in this video, you're going to hear a lot about training, systems, leadership, culture, consistency, brand value, guest retention. And it all sounds great, right? But how do we actually execute these things, and how do we make them stick, right? How do we have a culture of accountability? How do we have hospitality delivered at a high level? Well, it all boils down to three things: leadership, training, and systems. And I'm going to show you how to build all three of those things. I've done it for over 350 restaurants worldwide, and I want to continue doing it, and I want to do it for free. So I'm going to host a live event where it's absolutely free to join. You're going to get a workbook, you're going to get some bonuses, and we're going to show you how to build leadership, training, and systems. So if you're interested in attending for free, the link is in the description. You start making some serious money, especially if you're the right company, or just having the right perspective. For example, we work with private clubs. And some of the private clubs, like the AGMs, make like almost $250,000, right? In private clubs. And they don't work, there's no late night, the restaurants close at 9, they have perks galore, benefits galore, all that stuff. Yes, you're dealing, so there's a lot out there. It's all about your skill set, developing your skill set, putting in the freaking work, because that's what's gonna be the difference, right? Because what happens is we work with a lot of managers, and I've personally worked with, side by side, you know, a lot of managers. I've worked for a lot of managers, and there's a stigma of like, I see it all the time, where a server will be like, I went into management and I wasn't making money, so now I'm back serving, right?
Oh,
all the time.
Exactly what happened to the GM that I replaced her. She just went right back. She couldn't, not that she couldn't handle it. She just felt that it was a little bit less stress for her, and hey, quicker, easier money.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
It's working out for her.
But it's like, okay, well, it just depends on what are your goals, right? People have families, they have this, they have that. What are your goals, right? If your goal is like, hey, I want to be super successful in this field, I want to make some good money, I want to have a good career, I want to grow, I want to have that fulfillment, right? Because that's part of it too, is like, and that's why servers get jaded so easily. That's why bartenders get jaded so easily. You have a 5-year, 6-year, 7-year, and they're just jaded, right? They're literally working, you know, 4 days a week. They have an income of a full-time job of like $70,000, $80,000, sometimes $100,000, and they're so jaded because there's no growth, right? You're taking the easy money, and I'm not saying it's easy to do it, but just easy for them because they're on coast mode, right? They're coasting, and they're coming in doing the same thing over and over again, making the same money, and they get jaded, right? There's no growth. Like as humans, we have to grow, right? And that's a success metric, and that might be some of the fulfillment that you've had over the last 5 years, right? Is that growth, right? And feeling it and being a part of it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I mean, there's definitely employees that I've had that they don't necessarily feel stuck, but they feel comfortable. They're like, well, no. And they've been offered management positions, and they're just like, no, you know what, that's not for me. I'm fine with my, like you said, 3-4 days a week making what they make, and but I definitely agree with that.
And that's the problem too, is, you know, I had someone on Instagram, and they commented, because I was talking about leadership and protecting your strong employees or something like that. And of course, all the reel said was, you need to make sure that you don't let your C players be C players in your business in order to protect your A players. Because your A players are rare, you want to protect them. They don't want to work with C players. And someone commented back, multiple people commented back, and they're like, just pay them, just pay them. But if you pay them well, why don't you pay them well? Which is A, not what I'm talking about. And B, I could tell you're the C player, right? Because C players are always the ones that are like, I'd be an A player if you paid me more. No, A players don't talk like that. A players don't think like that. A players get paid. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, right? A players get paid, but their motivation isn't like, just pay me now, otherwise I don't perform. A players perform no matter what, right? And then they'll just find somewhere eventually that'll pay them to perform. And so one person commented and said, restaurants don't pay restaurant managers enough. So it's like kind of insinuating that they underpay them. And so you have really good bartenders and servers who could be the best leaders, and they won't become leaders because they don't want to take the pay cut. And that's the skewed mindset, right? Because there's a couple of things there. One is that an A player will take the pay cut because they want to grow and learn, right? Yeah. A great leader is never going to stifle themselves from being a great leader, stop themselves from being a great leader because of pay, right? They're going to go earn it. They're going to go out there and earn it, right? That's what a great leader would do, okay? But it's always a person who thinks they're an amazing leader and they would do it and bless upon everybody how great they are if you would pay them. The problem with that mentality is that you're making money, but bartending and serving are capped, right? The highest paid server in the world, that is a cap, right? And it's a low cap. The highest paid GM in the world, we're talking about $500,000, right? The highest paid director of operations, we're talking about over $500,000 with benefits, all that good stuff. When you're talking about, so the cap is much higher. You're talking about like Cheesecake Factory. I don't know if they still do this, but their GMs, they would give them a BMW, right? That's your work car. It's a BMW. I remember when I was working there, they had a kitchen manager, executive kitchen manager, and he got moved up to executive kitchen manager, and all of a sudden he pulled up. Boom, brand new BMW. Yeah, exactly. He's like, what's up? I remember he pulled up and rolled down his window. He's like, what's up? And so there's so many perks, right? Yeah. Because the work pays off. But you can't sit there and say like the restaurant you're in, they're family owned, right? They're not gonna be able to do that, right? But there's ways to go in and do that, right? There's literally the opportunities are limitless. Yeah. But when you stay in the place you're at, that's fine. Learn there, grow there, do your thing. But once you outgrow it, move up, right? But a lot of times people don't outgrow it. They don't do the extra work. There's a really good quote by Napoleon Hill. Do you know who Napoleon Hill is? He's an amazing author. He wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. It's all about mindset. And he says, the man who does more than what he's paid for will soon be paid for more than what he does. What does that mean to you?
That he's just, same thing, like he's just willing to stay there and learn. He does have higher expectations for himself. He's not willing to settle, I think.
Yeah, and well, think about it this way, right? Yeah. Let me break it down a little more. So the man who does more than what he's paid for. So when you do more than what you're paid for, you'll soon be paid for more than what you do. So what he's saying there is that you're never going to get paid more if you don't do more than what you're paid for, right? So if you sit there and say, I'm making $60,000 a year, and that's how much work I'm going to do. If you want me to get on emails on the weekends, if you want me to come in early and do inventory, if you want me to do those things, you have to pay me more. You know, that's it, bottom line. That's how I work. That's how you get 5% increases every year, right? Okay. That's how you don't outpace inflation. Yeah. That's how you go paycheck to paycheck, right? Yeah. But if you're sitting there and going, I grind, right? The pay doesn't matter. What I want to do is I want to learn. I want to learn how to be a manager, put more responsibility, give me more duties. I want to learn the skill set. I want to leverage my time because right now that $60,000 doesn't matter. That's going to pay bills for me. And right now, while I learn and develop, right? Yeah. And so I'm going to leverage my time. And so that way I'm going to do more work. And yes, I'm working for free. Yes, I'm doing more than what I'm paid for, but I'm also learning. I'm making myself more valuable. And before you know it, when I outgrow this place, now I'm making $60,000. Now I can go to that job that's opening, that's saying we have a GM position for $160,000, $140,000. That's double my income right now. I'm going to go apply for it. And I'm going to tell them, here's what I did. Right? They were paying me this much, but I came in every day, blah, blah, blah. I did all these things. I learned all this stuff. They're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm going to hire you over the GM who's going to come in and say, here's how I do things. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I like to operate like this, and I'm this. And they want you. They want the hungry person. And then when you walk in, you've done the work, you can prove it to them. They're going to hire you. And all of a sudden now, 3 years later or 2 years later, you're making double your salary versus a person who goes, I don't pick up my phone on the weekends or on my days off or whatever, and they're still making to 60,000. Maybe they move up to 70,000 in 3 years. In 3 years, you doubled your income, and then you just keep progressing. Keep with that mentality. You keep going. Before you know it, you're getting paid for more than what you do. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And that's what leadership can do. So I'm telling you, right? You're in the right field. If success looks to you like, hey, one day I want to retire. One day I want to be able to go on vacations and leave for a month. Right? One day I want to be able to buy a house, right? And then buy a property, and that's an investment property. If you want to do that, you're in the right position. Cool. The highest paid server, never going to be able to do that. And you know the truth too, after a certain age, server's not sexy anymore, right?
Exactly.
It's taxing on your body, right? All that stuff. Like it is what it is. That's life. That's reality of it.
Yeah.
So you're in the right position. And so when he wrote that, I was just like, that's a C player's mentality, and B, like, yeah, you got to take a pay cut because you're going from server to manager. You're going to a position where you have no skill set whatsoever, no experience in it. Someone's saying, I'll bet on you. I'll bet on you to run this whole thing and do this whole thing, and now it's up to you. So when you take that position, that pay cut, you end up betting on yourself. And you're saying, I'll take the pay cut and the sacrifice. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to bet on myself to leverage it to just do something bigger. Yeah. So
that was inspiring.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. I'm telling you, you're in the right position, but just, don't put money, don't attach your job performance to your pay ever, right? Someone's gonna take advantage of you, sure. Like they're taking advantage of you, but guess what? You're also learning. Now, if someone's saying, I want you to work the freaking host stand in the dish pit for 2 days extra or for 4 hours. No, okay, that's different. I'm not learning there. You're just using me as a tool. But yeah, you want me to come in and do inventory on my day off? I'll do it for sure. I'll learn it. I want to learn that. I want to learn how to do inventory. I want to learn how to put it in there. I want to learn how to do the communication skills, like whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna come in on my days. I'm going to come in early, get my paperwork done, my computer work done, and then I want to be on the floor because I want to practice my skill set of being on the floor as a leader, right? I want to practice that skill set. So you can definitely take this anywhere you want because I can tell you right now, these companies that are paying really well are hungry for good leadership. It's so hard to find because everyone's mentality has been stifled, right? Social media, you deserve to be happy. You deserve this. You deserve the right to earn it, right? We have to earn it.
Yes.
That's the bottom line, period. So you said something really good here, right? Which I like, is you said consistency, okay? Because I asked you, what is the number one goal of a restaurant leader? And you said consistency, and you're right. Like that is it. So this is it. So I want this. So when we walk away from today, it's like, okay, open-minded. I'm always learning, and I'm never going to say I know best. Number 2 is consistency. That is it, right? Now, how we frame it matters. How you frame everything matters. So framing is like how you frame it to someone, right? Okay, because how I frame things is going to be different. Like how I frame something to you and I talk to your GM, I might have to frame it differently for you to understand or for the mission to be clear. Okay. Right? So like for example, if I went to your owner, I'm going to say, what's your number one focus here, your goal here? Well, it's revenue. Right? We want to make as much revenue as possible as a company. That's what we do. Okay, that's the owner's framing. We want to get that to your GM, but we can't tell your GM revenue because then he's going to focus on the wrong things. He's going to focus on lowering labor, blah, blah, all this stuff, right? We can't. So what's going to make us the most revenue, right? The most revenue is what's going to make us the most revenue is consistency, right? So and then so your GM knows consistency. Now when we talk to your staff, you can't be like consistency is the number one thing because then it's consistency in what? Yeah. Right? I consistently show up every day. I guarantee you that one of your worst performing servers is like, I give great hospitality every day, right? I do it the best. So what's our number one focus as a group is to give the guests the best experience possible. Yeah. That's what you're telling your staff. Why do we exist? So remember I asked you that? The number one question is like, why do we exist? We exist to give the guests the best experience possible. That's why we exist as an organization. Because with that, if we truly do that, we will have the revenue that we want. You have to have consistency. We call it the trifecta. Consistency in food. Your product has to be consistently good. Not great, good, but consistent. Number 2, a consistency in ambiance, right? Or the ambiance has to be consistently clean, right? And then, like you said, the music, great example. We got one path, one lane. That's it. We can't be like, we're gonna do this, and we'll do that. Well, for this client, we'll do this. Guess what? Like you said, this is it. From this time to this time, we play this music. We're not playing music for a table. That's absurd. Yeah. That's craziness. That's inconsistency at its max. Number 3, we have consistency in hospitality, guest experience. We have to focus on all 3 of those things. Right now, how's your food?
We're good. We get a lot of compliments on it. Yes.
Consistent?
Yeah. Okay. I'd say it's pretty consistent.
Awesome. Ambiance?
That's where in the ambiance and the dining, very consistent. Ambiance in the bar area, it wavers. Yeah, it varies.
So it varies. Okay, ambiance and hospitality.
Consistent. I think, well, together as one, then it's inconsistent. Because if hospitality is consistent and ambiance is not, then that's where they...
Right. But do you think that everyone's getting a hospitality experience?
Oh, good question. At times, no. I guess it depends on the day, the time of day, how busy the restaurant is, how busy the server is. That definitely varies.
Okay, so let's start over.
Yeah.
How consistent on a scale of 1 to 10 do you think the hospitality is?
7.58.
7.5 to 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying we're 2.5 to 2 points away from being 100% consistently giving an elevated hospitality experience.
Yes.
Okay. And why do you think it's only 2? What do you think the 2 points are to fix that?
Making sure everybody is on the same page, the same, like every shift. Again, just being consistent with making sure everybody is staying consistent.
Okay. So it's okay. Just whatever comes to your mind. Okay. No wrong answers. So what do you define hospitality to me? Let's start there.
The customer service, how the guest is treated, from walking in the door and greeting them to, maybe the hostess chit-chatting with them as they walk to their table, being greeted by the server quickly, getting still hospitality entails with the service and how fast the food and the drinks are coming out, how often the server or bartender is checking on the customer, and then just seeing the table all the way through from beginning to end.
Okay, so let me write that down real quick. Okay, so hostess talking to guests as they see them. Server greeting timely, right?
The service, the food and drinks coming out in a timely manner.
Food and drinks timely manner, okay.
I guess the one thing too would be the drinks and making sure that the drinks are being consistent made from bartender to bartender. Everybody's on the same page as how things are made.
Drinks are consistent. Okay.
And continuing to check on the guest as they're still sitting and maintaining, finding out whether or not they're celebrating anything that day, and just go based off of the customer's needs and what it is that they're also doing too. Why they're there. Are they there just to have a girls' night? Are they there to celebrate grandma's birthday? Are they just there as a work meeting and some quick casual drinks and a lunch? And evaluating what the customer is there for and kind of going off of their needs as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through this with you, okay? And I know there's probably, if we sat down, we could probably, for an hour, you could probably give me another list of stuff, right? All right, so host talking to guests as they seat. So you're saying the host is gonna seat them, and the host will be like, oh, is this your first time here? Right? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you
so
celebrating anything today? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How's your day going?
So there's a couple of caveats to this. One is that you're correct, right? This is a hospitality touch point, okay? But we have to be careful because there's 2 ways you can go. You can go transactional or hospitality, because just because we're doing this does not make it hospitality. So we have 2 ways we can go. First way. Hi, how are you today? Awesome. Good. Nice. Good to hear that, right? Transactional.
Yeah.
We know it. I know it. You know it, right?
Yeah.
If I ask you how you doing, what do you say?
Oh, I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah. Are you?
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just auto response. End this now, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm
Like,
done.
just take my table.
Take my table. Enough of the shenanigans.
Got it.
So what we like to talk about is pattern interrupting verbiage. Now this is something you want to try and maybe introduce to your restaurant, but you also want to introduce it as a philosophy of your own. So when you go to interviews and you're talking to new, I'm not saying you should go to another job, but if you go get an interview and you could say, here's how because they're going to ask you hospitality, but here's what I think it is, right? And then I really like to invoke pattern interrupting language. And so here's what I say. I'm sitting at your table. So what do you got going on for the rest of the day?
Now you get them to engage and think about what it is.
You have to think about their answer. And like, what are you doing for the rest of the day?
I have work later at 5 p.m.
Okay, nice. You have to think about it, right?
Yeah.
You get caught off guard, right?
Yeah.
Pattern interrupting. All of a sudden you're thinking about it, and now you're like, what are you doing for the rest of the day, right? You're like kind of like, oh, I have to like think and interact and engage, bandwidth, right?
Yes.
It makes it seem like they're actually interested in what they're saying, right?
Okay.
So that's one thing you want to look at. So if they go walking to the table, how's it going today? Good, awesome. Like, why say anything? Why say anything? What's the difference, right? Like I get it. And so we want to elevate. This is elevation, right? Server greeting in timely manner. Do you think that's hospitality?
Yeah, a little bit because you could have tables that are sitting there for because the server's continuously busy.
So I'm gonna try and break this down for you because I want you to know the difference, so that way you can teach it, right?
Okay.
Service versus hospitality.
Okay.
Service versus hospitality. So service is the business transaction. This is everything I need to do to get you from you coming into the restaurant, telling me that you want to trade your money for my product. I'm going to take you through that whole entire process to make sure that you get your product and you can't complain about it, right? You're not going to leave and saying, I want my money back, or I didn't get my money's worth, or I didn't get my product. You're going to leave with your product, whether it's in your stomach or not, and then that's it. And then that's the service piece, right?
Okay.
So everything I need to do in order for that to be as pleasant as humanly possible. Hospitality is where I elevate it and make it individual and personal. Okay, that's where I do tactics to make it individual. It's called, Will Guidara, the author of Unreasonable Hospitality, says it's 1 for 1, right? Hospitality is 1 for 1, not 1 for all. If I'm doing something that I'm doing with everybody and it's a checklist, that's 1 for all. If I'm doing something where specifically for you, that's 1 for 1, right?
Yes.
So now going back to that, server greeting in a timely manner. Do you think that's service or hospitality?
Service.
Why?
Yeah, it's service because it's just another step in getting them in, getting them out.
Exactly. It's service. So that is service. So we don't want to look at that's not a hospitality touch point. So service all the way, right? All right. So food and drinks in a timely manner.
Again, service.
Service, yes. So necessary, by the way. Service is necessary.
Yeah.
But that's the basics, right? We can get that technically at McDonald's, right? You're basically taking them through a transaction to where they're going to leave they can leave without saying, they say, we didn't get our product, right? We got our product. How satisfied are we? I don't know, but we got our product, right? So we can't complain about that. Drinks are consistent.
Again, service.
Service, yes, 100%. Continuously check on guests.
Service.
Service, yes. I'm making sure that you have your product. You good with the did you get your product?
Yeah.
Good? Okay. And do you need anything else for your product to enjoy your product? Okay, awesome. See why they're there.
No, that's the hospitality.
Why?
Checking in on them, delivering what it is that they're expecting, whether they want us to come sing happy birthday to grandma, or if they want us to just kind of leave them alone because they're, in a business meeting.
So is that 1 for 1 or 1 for all?
That's a 1 for 1.
Why?
Because it's each individual table's
Exactly.
needs.
Yeah, now obviously there's gonna be 10 people with birthdays that night, right?
Yeah.
But that's still 1 for 1 because that's their birthday,
Yeah.
right? They're there for their birthday, right? If they're there for their dinner, okay, well everyone's here for dinner, right? But there's only certain people that are gonna be here for dinner, so that's 1 for 1. Okay, so you're starting to see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the basics. These guys are the basics, right? These are all basics. We don't care, these are basic. Again, that's just a version of McDonald's, right? That's it. We're just extending it. And we're doing it with a smile on our face.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, well, how are you today, right? That doesn't qualify as hospitality,
Yeah.
right? But when I come up and I have some care behind it, is this your first time here? Be honest, like it is. It's your first time here. You're in for a treat. Can I tell you you mind if I give you just a minute to talk about our brand, right? So that's hospitality.
Okay.
Service is, hi, how are you? Awesome. Can I start you off with something to drink? Fantastic. My name's Preston. If you need anything, you just let me know, right? Service.
Got it.
That's it. You can imagine if I can put a kiosk in front of you and the kiosk can perform the task, then that's service, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things we try to teach our servers. Don't just be an order taker.
Exactly. Don't be an experience maker.
Yeah.
Not an order taker, an experience maker.
Experience maker.
I'm going to make an experience. I'm going to can go, wow, that was awesome, right? That was great. And so we have to be cautious and cognizant of a couple of things here when we kind of talk about these things. Is one, again, how are we giving hospitality? How are we doing it? And so we want to create touch points where we can create hospitality. Perfectly said. When you go to check in for your table, for reservation or whatever, when you go up to the host stand, hospitality touch point. How are we making it hospitality, not just service? Hi, reservation? Hi, how are you today? Reservation? Do you have a reservation today? Awesome. Okay, no, we can get you sat. Preston will get you sat. Right. Yeah, enjoy your meal. That's service or hospitality?
Service.
Why?
Because they're just doing their job.
Right. They're going through a script,
Yeah.
a process. There's no pattern breaking there, right? And they're prepared for it. They're gonna walk up,
Yeah, party at 2.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
exactly.
Can we get a booth? Okay, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, right this way, sure, absolutely, yeah, you got it, right? And so and then we can go deeper into this, but then hospitality piece is like, we want to train them. So let's say they want a booth. We can't give them a booth. Okay, now we're going into what you talked about earlier, which is guest recovery.
Yes.
So we'll go into that a little bit. Now you said something about alignment. So you said the 3 things that you would fix: handling customer complaints, handling alignment, and then employees being productive. So employees being productive, just to kind of touch on that, is a culture thing.
Okay.
right? That's something that we have to arm our staff to have the right mindset and culture. B is that we have to make sure that we're guest experience first, guest first mindset. What's our number one goal? I should be able to walk into your restaurant and go up to any employee and go, what's your number one goal here? To give the guest the best experience possible. Duh, you idiot. Like, don't ask me a dumb question like that ever again. Okay, because that's how obvious it is to our company, right? That is our number one focus, that guest is. Not my guest, the guest, because they're all my guests. When it starts becoming my guest, you have a broken culture right away, broken mindsets. Because that means it's about my guest, that means it's about my tip, that means it's about me. We cannot have employees in your business where it's about me. And that's what our freaking industry runs rampant with.
Yeah.
Selfish, self-centered, siloed employees.
That's my table, my section.
My table, my section. Yeah, exactly. Why am I tipping him out that much if he's not busting my tables? Why am I tipping them out if they're not running my food? Like they're not doing like they're not performing like a friggin' dog and doing exactly what they're. It's like.
Have you been a secret shopper at my restaurant?
Yeah. I'm a secret shopper at every restaurant. And so that's what it is though, right? And it because it's my move. You know, it's just selfish, disgusting, a culture that we've developed, that we've allowed, right? Not just you. I'm saying you, people before you, or whatever. The industry's allowed it. Right? The industry's allowed it, but then you look at companies like the Ritz-Carlton, you look at companies like Chick-fil-A, you look at companies like Carbone, Ding Tai Fung. Do you know Ding Tai? Have you ever been to Ding Tai Fung? Okay. Do you like it?
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think they're the best dumplings in the world?
Show me a better place, and maybe another place will taste better. Yeah.
So Ding Tai Fung does. I don't know if you know this. In their U.S. locations, they do $25 million per location. In the U.S. Okay. Are you guys? I'm guessing like maybe 3 or 5.
Between 125 to 150 a week.
6.6, I think, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Say 6.5 for safety, right? So you do 6.5, which actually is good, right? So you guys are busy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you guys do 6.5. That's good. That's really good, right? For one location, you're on the healthier side. Ding Tai Fung is 25 million, 4 times the business, right? 4x, right?
Yeah.
It's a machine, and they run perfectly, right? It's like every system is down in place. So Ding Tai Fung does that, but Ding Tai Fung does that with consistency, right? And their number one thing is, guess what? You're not going to walk in there. You're never in your life going to hear an employee you're never going to overhear an employee talking about a tip, a table, a section, anything, right? You're never going to hear, even in the background, the managers never hear an employee talking about a tip, section, table. How come I didn't get that section? I'm working a double today. I want a better section for working a double, right? It's like, you're not going to get that. Yeah. Unacceptable, not allowed. That's not how we operate. We're here for the guest experience first and foremost. And if you want to be a part of that, awesome. If you don't, you have a good day, right? So that's what we have to start like locking in our horns, because your 6.6, for your ownership's sake, could easily be 8, 10, right? Yeah. You're missing out on millions because we're not focused on it. I can tell you right now, it's costing you, because that mindset comes off on the guest, right? Always. Because it affects employees, it affects management, it affects everybody, right? And you see it. It frustrates you probably sometimes to some degree. Do you see that happening in your business?
Sometimes, yeah.
With servers, bartenders?
Mainly servers, I would think. Mainly servers, I feel like.
Okay, so servers are the worst at it. So alignment is important. That's why I'm saying that employee productivity kind of falls under that culture. And so employee productivity should really be more of like, are we cutting right? Are we not? Obviously, we can't be perfect when we're on the floor. It's not necessarily we need you to be cleaning or doing, but we do need you to be as floor present, staying on the floor, paying attention, waiting for a guest. If we're sitting there and it's slow and you're talking to the host, as soon as the guest walks in, hi, welcome, right? Everyone's attention goes to that. And then we focus on our tables when we get them. And then handling customer complaints. So let's jump in on that. So give me an example of maybe one time that went south.
This was actually very recent. It was last weekend. I had a customer who had a margarita glass, and now the glass wasn't per se chipped. It just had like a fracture within it. Now the customer whose cup that was, she had been drinking her margarita. She passed it over to have her mother try it, and that was when they noticed, and they brought it up right away to the server. I went over. There was a miscommunication between me and the server. I had assumed they knew the crack was there and they continued to drink it, so we were originally just going to discount the drink. But then come to find out when I go to the table and speak with them. Now again, I've never actually maybe because she was a little tipsy at the time. She was celebrating her birthday, but the customer who had the broken cup, it was her. I don't know what the relation was, but it was another woman at her table who was being the advocate and speaking up, claiming that she was an emergency room nurse. I've seen it happen where, maybe not today, she's been drinking pieces of glass, but, in a couple of days from now, who knows, it's maybe tearing the lining of her stomach, and completely going on into this full what could possibly happen to this customer drinking from this broken glass, and then feeling that I didn't deliver the proper discount or give her, what it is that she wanted. I guess because I never looked directly in her eye and I just had a blank face, I didn't seem very caring and concerned. And she felt, from what I've known for our protocol, we only fill out, what is it, like when somebody hurts themselves, fall or whatever, we fill out the form when something physically happens to you, but she expected us to fill out that kind of report.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a safety report.
Safety report, yeah. Expected us to fill that out already. She was like, well, you guys are already going to fill out the paperwork. Well, why aren't you bringing the paperwork to us? And I don't think that discount is sufficient enough. And, eventually having to get the general manager involved, and, he just helped the whole situation, just kind of gave the customer obviously what they were looking for, what they asked for, and ended the service there, and they went home. So this was all happening right at the end of their meal, at the end of everything. So they were already on their way out.
Got it. Okay. So, and by the way, been through that a million times, right? So a couple of things, right? First things first, you had someone who had a cracked glass, right? Not like a chipped glass that was like
pieces
apart,
inside,
right? It was just cracked. I've seen it a million times, right? Glasses, especially restaurant quality glass, are designed to take the crack without shattering for that reason, right? It's kind of like industrial, right? So that way it prevents things like that from happening.
Yeah.
Unless you have like China or something like that, or sorry, crystal. So they had a cracked glass. What miscommunication happened with you and your employee?
My employee thought that they had the glass and that it was already broken and continued to drink out of it without complaining about it, or bringing, not complaining, but without bringing it to the attention to the server manager first.
So sorry. So the server's telling you, and give me clarity here. The server's telling you they broke the glass.
Hey, Cammy, the glass is cracked. They continue to drink out of their glass. They already knew it was broken, but they can still continue to drink it. They're upset that nobody has gone to their table yet. They barely bring it to his attention. So I immediately went to the table and started talking to them about it. And again, thinking that the customer, well, if they knew about it and they still continue to drink out of the glass, but yet now all of a sudden they want to, something in return for the, like, how would you say that?
They're trying to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying they knew, why are they bringing it up now? Right? All of a sudden they're done with the drink, and all of a sudden now they recognize the crack. Now they recognize, I've been drinking glass this whole time.
Yeah.
Now that the bill came, whatever it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's 100% what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, right after the bill came.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, and then you went over there and you're like, kind of like, I'll give you what? Would you give 50% off?
Yeah, I gave 50% off the drink.
And was that decision made before or after you went to the table?
That was made before, based off of the information I was given. Okay, thinking they already knew the glass was cracked and still continue to drink from it.
Okay.
So once I approached the table, I apologize. This happened. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Is there anything else I can get you? Trying to offer, trying to help the situation at the time.
So, sorry, go back to that. So you walk up, pretend I'm the guest. And you be real. Like, tell me what, because I feel like and I just trying to get the real situation. You're a little bit like, I'm going to navigate this a little carefully because this person might be trying to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, well, so walking up to the table, not knowing exactly which guest experienced it. Hi, how are you? I heard somebody here had a broken glass, and oh yes, it was over here. But again, that person was never really speaking. It was the person who was advocating for them. Oh, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Are you okay? Is there anything I can get for you? And just this response at the time was just kind of a blank stare, a half smile, like, no, I'm okay. Like, okay, well, is there anything else I can get for you? I am definitely going to be putting a discount on this drink for you. Is there anything else? Everybody else is doing okay. How else can I help you? Is there anything I can get you at the moment? Continuing just to help the full table. No, we're okay. We're all right. Thank you. Okay. So the server goes back and takes the new check with the discounted drink, and that's when they didn't feel satisfied.
And they called you back over.
They did call me back over.
And then so tell me how
actually it took a while because they just complained about it to the server, and then the server said, "Hey, I think they want you to go back and figure out what." And so
okay, and so is that all the server said? I think they want you to come back and do something more, or was the server like was the server on their side or on the side of?
No, the server was neutral. The server was neutral.
Oh, the server's like, just go back and check them out.
Hey,
okay.
Just see. Yeah, they still want to talk to you about. They feel like they should get it for free.
So when you say that they think they should get it for free, when they said that, what was your initial reaction in your head?
No, I was like, oh, okay, they're trying to just get something for free in my head. So I thought, okay, well, let's just give the whole margarita for free. That's not a problem to do that. But then they said they wanted when I said that we were gonna comp the entire drink, I don't know how the customer then told the server, oh, well, your manager said they were going to take care of the drink and help us give us a discount on the bill, which was never said.
Your server said that?
My server told me that. And so
You're leaving some stuff out. Gotta give me the full story. You're leaving some stuff out. So the server came back to you.
Yeah, the server came back, said, hey, Cammy, they want to talk to you. They're not satisfied with the discount. And then that's when they told me, no, they didn't know the whole time that there was a crack. We didn't figure it out until after the drink was finished. So I did go back a second time, talk to them. I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I even told them there was a miscommunication between us. If you want, I can take the drink completely off the bill. That's fine, and which is what I did. Walked away, server gave the new bill, and then that's when they said, well, I thought the manager said we were going to get a discount on the whole bill, but that wasn't the case. So the server came back to me and told me this is what their
state at this time? Are they still neutral?
Still neutral.
Okay.
Oh yeah, neutral beginning to end.
Okay,
they didn't, very indifferent on the situation.
Okay.
They were more concerned because they felt like because this issue was happening, they felt it was now going to affect their tip and the automatic gratuity and all. They're going to want to have the gratuity taken off, and which, okay, understandable. A lot of our servers understand that's the name of the game. Sometimes there's a complaint. Some people don't feel they need to put that gratuity on there.
Nope, exactly.
So we're always more than happy to take it off. Of course, with the servers kind of not wanting that to happen, but it happens.
Absolutely.
So finally going back to the table a third time and talking to them and letting them know, look, I'm really sorry. Yes, there was a miscommunication. I did discount this drink, but I did not say that I was going to be discounting the entire bill.
So I'm sorry. So when you're going back the third time, what's your mindset? What's your exact mindset?
Here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again. And
definitely.
Like, here we go again. You're kind of like, I'm kind of going into defense mode, right? Like they're gonna, hypothetically throw some punches. I want to be able to kind of block and bob and weave, right? And
but still maintain that, like, okay, what is it that you need?
Right.
Pretty much. What is it that I can do for you? Even though knowing that their end goal was getting some kind of a discount, either on the entire bill or on that person's meal, drink, whatever that person consumed, the one who it affected.
Okay. So then you went to the table.
So I went to the table. I went back. I told them, I'm sorry. That, I'm not going to be giving a discount on the entire bill. If you and so I continued to ask the person that had the broken glass, are you okay? Do you feel sick? Because the friend or the family member at the table was just very adamant about, well, we don't know just because she's okay right now. And I work in an ER and I've seen it happen before. 2-3 days later, it's tearing up the lining of their so just trying to give every possible scenario what could happen. And I almost felt exhausted
for sure.
listening to all of it. And again, now this is somebody who is speaking up for the person because that person was not really speaking a whole lot. Again, they were a little tipsy. It was their birthday they were celebrating, and just kind of going along with whatever that person was saying because they knew that person was the one that was going to eventually be able to get something more discounted off the bill. Right. So just letting them take control of the situation
like,
versus
watch this. I'm gonna work this manager over.
Exactly.
Okay. And then what was the end result?
So as I was continuing to talk, that third time I went over and continuing to talk to the customer and explain to them, well, what I can give you a discount on your food. The general manager
You
did
did
walk
say,
up.
or you said he can't?
At first, I said I couldn't. It was just going to be the drink, but because she continued, wanting to seek more discounts, the general manager finally walked up, listened to her whole story all over again, and as they were explaining, now I did stay at the table and just kind of, waited for the whole situation to finish. The woman said, well, I don't think you're telling the general manager, I don't think your manager handled it very well. I was the one that had to tell her to fill out the report. I was the one that had to tell her to give us the discount, making me look incompetent. And right away I said, well, I'm sorry you felt that way. I wasn't bothered. And by me interrupting that, I already knew, like, I just kept my mouth quiet and kept my mouth closed. And my general manager just looked at me and said, Cammy, like, I'll go ahead and handle this from here. I said, okay, not a problem. Walked away. The end result was the general manager did take off the bill, the margarita and the food plate that customer had. Of that one customer, the one who had the actual.
How long ago was this?
Last Saturday.
Have you heard anything since?
No.
Bad review? Bad review?
Not that I know of yet. I did immediately after the customers left, I did talk to my manager and my general manager and ask him, like, help me. What could I have done different? I even joked and I said, maybe I am just like my mom. I can't hide my emotions, on my face, just to try to make light of the situation. Without, obviously, I don't want to look incompetent to my superior either, And he just explained to me, well, next time let's do this and let's do that. I said, well, I did. I felt like I did do that. He said, well, filling out the incident report, getting down to their level and sitting down next to them and helping them fill it out. And I said, okay, maybe that's something I could have done. There wasn't necessarily space at the table for me to sit down with them and kind of, go over. But I did, when I dropped off the report, I said, fill this out to the best of your ability. If you have any questions, please ask me. I can help you fill out whatever you need. And they're like, okay, yeah, thank you. And again, a third person now took the report and started filling it out. So I walked away, let them handle that. And then that's when I went back to go retrieve that report. They continued to complain about it, still wanted the food discount. And then that's when the general manager walked up.
What would you have done differently now?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I would want to necessarily go straight to discounting everything for that particular person.
Why not?
I guess there's been other times where other customers are okay with just the drink being discounted. Okay, thank you, not a problem. A lot of times there are customers, there's other incidents that happen, a hair in the food, or maybe a piece of plastic wrapper got, caught still in some of the meat. And I feel like it's maybe 75% of the time that we get a customer, oh, don't worry, oh, no, I'm going to discount that for you. That's not what we do here. Okay, and they're fine with the original discount that's offered. It is that 25%.
Are you okay with your guest walking away being fine?
I guess not. Because in retrospect, yeah, you want that guest walking away feeling that you did everything possible to help them.
Let me ask you a question.
And not personally having that feeling of like, finally they're gone out of the restaurant. Like, I don't have to deal with that customer anymore.
Yes. So that's what we want to change. But first of all, what would you want?
Me?
And don't play the game of, I'm a manager, so I get it. No, like as a consumer, I go into a restaurant, I'm not happy. Manager walks up and says, I'm gonna give you 25% off. Would you be like, thank you? That's freaking amazing. Come here and give me a hug.
Maybe, yeah. I feel like I probably would be okay with whatever they offered.
Okay. You'd be okay.
Yeah, I would be fine with it.
You'd be fine.
I would be fine, yeah.
Right. So you wouldn't be impressed.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, wow, you didn't have to, you really took care of me there. Thank you. Just being honest, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things here. I'm going to be really, really, really blunt, okay? Because I want you to be successful. You're coming to me and you're saying guest recovery is a problem. I'm going to show you how to solve it, but I'm going to be really, really blunt with you.
Okay.
Because there's some fundamental cracks, and I've seen this before a million times, okay? So a couple of things. I think that your ego got in the way, okay? And your pride.
Yeah.
Because you're human, right?
Yeah.
You're human? Okay, good. So you're human, you have ego and you have pride. By the way, I do too, and I suffer from the same thing, and I've been in your shoes times before, right? And I always walk away going, damn, right?
Yeah.
So if someone's coming in, first of all, and you have someone chipping away saying they know best and help, and they're experts and blah blah blah. And this, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. No, you're not fine. You're like, how can I help you? Well, help your friend, right? Kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. So your ego and pride starts getting into it, and then all of a sudden it's like, this is one thing that managers do. What I want you to just to completely eradicate from your mindset. Your job as a leader, as a manager, and when you start working for really successful restaurants, they're going to back this 110%, okay? Your job as a manager and a leader is not to be a detective on who's trying to get things for free and who's not. Okay. You play that game, you lose, right? As a professional, not as a manager, not in that moment, just as a professional. Okay. We cannot play that because that's a losing proposition. I'm gonna say, wait, are you trying to get something for free? And how much are you trying? I'll only give you this much for free, but don't try and take this. I'm not gonna do that, right? Nope, mm-hmm. You're not gonna work me like that, because I know when you're trying to take advantage, and I won't let anybody do that. When we play that game, we risk just guest recovery in the right places, right? What we want to do is just say, I'm going to give the best guest recovery possible in order to have the best retention possible, in order to get the most revenue possible, right? That's our goal, is to make sure every guest leaves happy. Not fine, okay, no, all right, okay, thank you, it's not bad, right? No, I want you to leave freaking stoked. I want you to give me a hug at the end of this, right? That's how much I want you to leave happy. So I'm gonna play that game, and guess what? If 20% of those people are here to take advantage of me, take advantage of me. That's totally fine, name of the game. When you go into a department store, you probably already know this, they price in their clothing theft. You know that? Yeah. So they assume, we're gonna get $20,000 worth of theft this year, so we're gonna divide that up into every single product, divide it up evenly, and now this product cost 14 cents more to cover our theft, right? Same thing, guest recovery, we just know people are gonna take advantage, and that's okay. I'm gonna still smile, I'm gonna give you the best hospitality possible, and I'm gonna let you leave. And if you wanna try and come back and do it again, go for it. Like, my job isn't to decipher that. I am not freaking undercover here, right? I am here to give you the best experience possible and not play detective.
Yeah, that's exactly what my regional manager told me, is like, you know what, Cammy, it's okay. Like, we throw away so much food every day, all day long. One plate is not going to hurt us.
No.
You know, one drink is not going to hurt us. And so...
Definitely not. Hell no. Who cares? Let them come to you and go, Cammy, why'd you do that? Right? And then you can say, I want to make sure they leave 110% happy. If that's something that you're saying not to do, then I will listen to you, of course. Yeah. I was just making sure they left 100% happy. I want to make sure they didn't, not only they not write a bad review, I want them to come back. Yeah. I want everyone at the table to come back, right? Yeah. I want to prove that person wrong with kindness, okay? So someone walks up, they have a cracked glass, right? The server comes up to you, says, I think they're drinking it now. You said right away, you're like, they may have known that they were drinking it, right? And they're still drinking it, right? So the server's saying that, so you're assuming it. First things first, I would do two things. I never decide what I'm doing for them beforehand. Okay. I need to go talk to them. I need to go see their temperament. I need to go talk to them and see what's going on. If I decide beforehand, that's kind of crazy. Right? Because I don't know all the information. And this is a perfect example because you got the wrong information. So now you're going there with the wrong information, the wrong discount, you're walking up and you just freaking literally you just pulled a linchpin out and you're like, here we go, right? For your night, right? Because I'm sure you didn't leave there going, I'm sure you weren't checking out and you're like, oh, what happened again? Like, no, the whole night you're like, oh, shit, right? Like, of course, right? Yeah. And so that's bad for you, right? It's bad for your mental health. We want to avoid that. So first things first is like, just give me the gist, bare gist. What is it? Cracked glass? Got it. I don't need to know any other information. That's it. Hi, I'm sorry. I heard someone had a cracked glass, right? I am so sorry, right? So first things first, we got to make sure we know all the information. Never discount before. I'm going to give you one piece of advice as a new manager. Never, ever give a percentage discount, okay? That is nickel and diming, right? Okay. The drink's on us. Bottom line, period. Never 50%, 25%. Oh, I didn't like my meal, but you ate half of it, so I'll give you 50% off. Come on, right? What are we doing here? Yeah. Right, we're making $6.6 million a year. Like, you didn't like it, I'll take it off the bill, right? A little weird that you ate all of it, but that's okay, right? I'm not here to, I got you, right? I want to make sure you leave happy, right? You're taking advantage of me, awesome, congratulations, you did it. My day still stays the same, right? Our profit line still stays the same, like everything stays the same. Okay, so we got to get rid of that. So promise me that if you have a boss or a leadership team that's telling you to go percentage-wise, you need to find another restaurant to work for, right? Because that's crazy. Yeah. Like that, no, Ritz-Carlton's never, ever, ever, ever going to walk up to a guest and say, we just gave you 25% off your drink.
Yeah.
That's just insane. Like, what are you doing here, right? Okay, so, oh yeah, so the person is, so now you have someone assisting, right? This is where emotional intelligence comes in. And it's really important to understand emotional intelligence on different levels. One thing emotional intelligence is being prepared to get poked at, prodded, right? Especially as a leader. So you have to go in there going, there might be someone here that's gonna push my buttons and I'm gonna stay calm, cool, and collected. Because that's what's gonna happen. Your pride and your ego comes in, all of a sudden, like you said, you're like your mom, you wear it on your face, right? And that's a problem, okay?
Yeah.
I do too, and I've worked with managers like that. They can't hide it. And so they're like, yeah, okay, right, I know, I heard you, right? And then it's all of a sudden it just starts getting tense.
Yeah.
And so what we have to do is, instead of trying to hide your emotions, right? Like you're getting upset, but you're just trying to hide it because you can't. We want to just get into acceptance, right? So our job is what? What's our job? Hospitality, guest experience.
Guest experience.
That's our job. I want to make sure every guest leaves happy. That is my only job. My job isn't to tell this person that you're not going to pull one fast one on me. My job isn't to say that you're not going to get a discount. My job is to make sure you guys leave happy. What's going on? Yes. No, you're 100% right. Absolutely. First of all, I'm sorry, because you do have to consider the fact that maybe this person's just nice, right? And they don't want to speak up. They don't have and you've had friends like that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right? Where they won't speak. And you're like, say something. Come on. Hey, she's not enjoying her meal, right? Like,
I'm the friend that.
Right, exactly.
I'm fine. I'm okay.
Right.
I'm fine with the 25%
Yeah,
off.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're the nice person, right? I am too. I'm just giving. But the problem with that is, though, there's times I promise you that you've left a restaurant and you're like, how was everything? It was good. Thank you very much. Never coming back. Yeah. I'm not coming back. No. I mean, you gave me 25% off. That's fine. I'm not going to leave a bad review, but I'm not going to come back. I just don't know if I can trust this place. Like, that's it. Not a personal thing. It's not an anger thing. It's just like, I came in, the food was okay, and then you gave me 25% off. Thanks for doing that, but I'm not coming back, right? But if they come in, they go, how do we make sure we can earn your business again? Because this isn't how we operate, right? I'm going to make sure you got to come back and try this again, and they go full force, and oh my gosh, you're awesome. You're coming back. That's our job.
Yes.
Is there anything you disagree with? And be honest, because this is a moment, right? You want to learn. This is a moment.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, it's a matter of getting that customer to want to come back.
Yes, want to, crave it, right? And so I'm going to tell you this straight up. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's easy to get pissed. It's easy to combat people. It's easy to puff up your chest. It's hard to stay calm, cool, and collected. Yeah. But when you practice that skill set at tables, it will become a superpower, not only in your work life, in your personal life, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's probably times in your personal life where you're like, whoops, probably shouldn't have done that, right? Probably should. I wish I'd stayed calmer just a minute longer. I probably would have resulted better, right? Yeah. That's what we want to practice, okay? And then you help the full table. Can I get anybody else, anything else? Let's always keep the focus on the problem.
Got it.
Okay? Because when you start saying, is anybody, they're gonna be like, why are you asking us, right? No, we're done. Because then it seems like you don't know what you're doing, right? Okay. Anything else? You good? Like, yeah, we're good. No, she had a broken glass. Why are you asking us, right? Yeah. So focus on that. Focus on the person. You see, this is the mouthpiece. Now we got to calm them down, right? We got because it's all about de-escalation. If someone's sitting there going blah 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 blah. So, and then you said they're trying to get something for free. Went over that. Okay. If you said something like if you want to, I can do this. Right? Do you ever say that? Like, if you want, I can take that off the bill. Do you ever say something like that?
Yeah, I probably used that verbiage before.
It's you're a leader. Yeah. Okay, you're leading the charge, leading the position. So it's I'm going to do this for you. Okay. First and foremost, I'm going to do this for you. Absolutely, 110%. That's the least I can do. Right? Okay. Server's worried about the grat. That's a culture problem right there. Like, excuse me? Did you just say like? There's a much bigger problem here. Like, reality is they could cause a freaking shitstorm for us, right? If they really wanted to, right? Okay. They could take a picture, post online. It can go out of hand crazy. So I want you to be cognizant of that too as a leader, right? That's a big problem, right? And we're not going to go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You don't want to do that. Calm, cool, and collected. One sorry, always. One apology. I'm really sorry about that. Unacceptable. That cannot happen. It's not our standard. I'm going to fix this for you, right? And now we're going to fix it to make sure we calm that person down and they don't do anything crazy, like take a picture and try and make it look like it's something it's not, right? So we're going to just kind of de-escalate now because they're getting crazy, right? And we're going to de-escalate. They start talking about filling, okay? But the server comes up to you and like, oh, I just don't want the grat. It's like, excuse me. Least of our problems right now. I'm sorry, but it is, right? Yeah. Like our problem right now isn't you keeping your grat. And so when you go up to the table and they're like, they want to talk to you again, now we can, listen, you're not gonna be perfect. I wasn't, most people aren't, right? You're not gonna be, nobody is. You're not gonna be perfect, so there's gonna be times where maybe you do not handle it perfectly. They wanna come talk to you again, all right, should I grab the GM now? right? Should I just grab the GM, say, listen, be real.
Yeah.
I got a little bit, my ego got a little bit in the way. He's gonna know the truth, right? He knew what happened beforehand. My ego got in the way. Do you mind jumping in there and just like sweeping this up? I'm sorry, I messed up. Yeah, of course, I got you, right? So we go over there, and then he de-escalates instead of you going back there. But don't be afraid to do that. Because if you're walking up going, here we go again, okay, like, and then you're kind of going up like this, that's probably maybe a sign, maybe you shouldn't go back to that table, right? And so now I want to say, I go forward, and I always tell managers when I'm working with them, I go, so what was the end result? They got the discount, right? So we could have solved all this by giving them the discount. First things first, right? So you walk up and they're saying to you, here's what we want, right? We thought we were gonna get a discount on the food. I wasn't gonna do that, but more than happy, yeah, of course. What can I, like, how about I take care of your dish and I take care of your dish, because I honestly, I appreciate you like bringing this to my attention. Do you mind if I take care of both your dishes? I want you guys to leave 100% happy. Would that, can you tell me that would leave? We want 50% off the bill. We want 50% off the bill. Okay, let me just go run that by my GM. I want to do it for you guys. I think you deserve it. I think it's unacceptable that you got that glass. Let me just go run it by my GM.
Yeah.
Go talk to your GM, be like, listen, what do you think about this? And he'll probably be like, all right, let's do it. But like, be careful, right? Okay, cool. And you go back there, guess what? I talked to my GM, we're gonna take 50% off the bill, okay? But you gotta promise me one thing. What's that? Promise me you'll come back and give us a second chance to show you that you'll never get a broken glass again, because it's completely unacceptable. I just talked to the bartender and the busser, the bar back. I let him know, be really cognizant of that thing. I told all the management team, we've got to be focused on these things. So we're triple checking now to make sure that this never happens again. And I really appreciate you bringing it to my attention, because we want to focus on making sure these things never happen again. What do you think they're going to say?
All right, I'll be back.
Yeah, thank you. Then I'd be like, oh, we want more discounts, or well, and so that's what it is. And to your GM's point, it's like, yes, filling out the form is important, right? So take the menu, right? Boom. But I already saw you're like, well, there's no place to sit on the table. It's like, his point was like, fill it out with them, right? Because when you hand it to them, all right,
later,
you don't care, right? See you later. And you probably were in that state where you're just like, get out of my face, right? Get off my back, right? But it's like, let me fill that out for you, like always with the forms, right? Okay. But so the bottom line is, like, you want to look at a guest complaint as an opportunity. And that's what I always did. Like, it's an opportunity for us to show them how awesome we are and how freaking badass you are. Like, you should be excited. I have a complaint. I don't care how big it is. I don't care what it is. Bring it my way. I will handle it, right? I will absolutely turn them around. I will do whatever it takes. I'll comp the whole freaking bill. I don't care. I will make sure they leave happy. Now you have to remember, comping a bill isn't the solution, right? That's not the solution. We do want to, you have to take care of some things, yes, but you got to look at it as like, if you're going to fight with a significant other, right? You get in a big fight and that person says some really, really mean things to you, right? Some like goes below the belt. The next day they're like, oh, here's a gift. You cool? It's expensive. You cool? You're like, no. You gotta talk about what you just said to me last night, right? And you're gonna freaking tell me, we're gonna break that down. You're gonna show me that you know that was wrong, and you're gonna show me that you're sorry. Show me, don't buy me, right? And so the same thing with you when you're at the table. I had someone just talk about this, where they said I had 10 kids with me at this restaurant, and they're freaking crazy and they wanted to eat. Food took an hour. They're going crazy. So imagine what he's doing. He's going crazy, right? At the end, the server comes up and says, hey, my manager comped the bill for you. And he's like, where's the manager though? The manager's not gonna come by and talk to me, right? Yeah. And that just shows you that's not gonna work, right? Comping the bill, sure, that's awesome. The manager comes out and goes, I wanna tell you something. I'm freaking sorry. And I just see all these kids, I can only imagine, right? That's tough, it's really hard. I'm sorry I put you in that position. We're short-staffed behind the kitchen. I was actually back there helping you make your food. I took care of your bill. Can you do me a favor? I'm gonna give you this $25 gift card. Can you make sure you come back one more time, ask for me. I'm gonna make sure you get taken care of. I wanna show you what we're really made of. This is not normal. Yeah. Is that cool with you doing that? Sure. Now you just earn their loyalty. They're gonna tell that story. People are gonna trust your brand, right? That has lasting implementing versus, there you go. There's your bill. Go, like, shoo now. Like, we did enough. Don't write a bad review because we bought your bill, right? That's why it's important that we come up there and we're always enamored with their solution, right? We hear them, we listen, shake your head. They call it getting in the boat, right? You get in the boat with them. It's me and you against the restaurant, me and you against whoever gave you that glass, right? We're gonna find out what's happening, and you're gonna listen, and you're gonna and you're acting. That's really important, Cammy. You're acting the whole time. That's the important part. That's the art of it. You're acting. You're going, broken glass. Yeah. Oh, stomach for sure. No, I would be freaking. I'm so sorry. Are you feeling okay right now? Tell me the truth. Are you sure? 100. Okay. please keep going. You work for oh my, okay, so you get it. Okay, awesome, right?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, we're taking care of the drink. Like you're not paying for that. I want to buy your meal and I want to buy your meal. Was there anything else I can do for you? Because I want you to leave happy, and I'm going to fill out the form, or I'm going to follow up. I'm going to get your email tomorrow, make sure you're okay. We're going to double check on you. Is there anything else I can do? Because I want to make sure you leave 100% happy. That's totally unacceptable. I'm going to talk to my bar team, blah, 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 boom, boom. Is there anything else? Are you sure? Okay, talk to me, right? You're not smiling. You're looking at them. You're serious. You're dedicated, right? One apology. I'm sorry. That's it. They don't want to hear your sorries. And I'm going to fix this. Okay, anything else? All right, well, by the way, guys, I just bagged up a couple desserts for you guys. You guys take that with you. Enjoy the rest of your night. My name's Cammy. If you need anything else, I'm happy to help. Do me a favor. Ever wait, call me, text me. I'm going to freak, whatever, right? All of a sudden they're like, thank you, Cammy, come here. Like, wow, that's so awesome. And everyone's, even the people that weren't involved are going to be like, that was freaking amazing. I can't believe how nice she was, how much she went above and beyond, right? They're going to tell their friends, and all of a sudden they're telling the story, right? And you took that, like I said, it's an opportunity. You took that glass situation and made it into that. And then guess what, Cammy? You're going to walk away and you're going to be like, all right. Yeah. Cool, right? Instead of walking away like, right? Because that's, yeah, exactly, right? Thank God that nightmare is over. So that's why we took an opportunity. And it's just, remember, when you walk in, you know that they might attack. They might pounce, right? They might have an attitude. They might be disrespectful. They might say something like, that discount's bullshit, right? You're like, are you, okay, that's fair. Talk to me though. What can I do for? I want to make you happy. Clearly you're not. What can I do for you? I'm here, right? I want to set this right. What can I do? I want the whole bill comped. You know what? I think you deserve it. Let me just talk to my GM. And yes, absolutely. But you got to promise me, if I make it happen, you're going to come back and give a second chance. Will you promise me that? Okay, cool. Give me 1 second, right? And that's it. Worst case scenario, your GM's going to be like, hey, don't comp the whole bill next time, right? Or don't promise that, whatever. Worst case scenario. That's better than your manager going, maybe don't get so like into it with them, right? So I hope I armed you with enough for guest recovery. Do you feel good about it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like I like that? I like that. Yes. Do you feel like you those are all things you can apply?
Absolutely. Like I could definitely test all that out tonight on a busy Friday evening.
Yes, absolutely. Do you feel like there's like you do have the tools, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Everything. Yeah, because we have our chain of command. It would just be a matter of running it by with the GM. I mean, with that whole situation, after the first time I had went to the table, I did discuss it with the GM. I said, hey, this is what's going on. And so I think that is why he kind of, by the third time he saw me at the table, he started to hover and really do some damage control.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if there's ever a third time, that's like we pass it off to GM.
Yeah.
Because now we're just going back and forth, right? Now it's gonna be a chess.
Yeah.
But if your GM comes in, now it's a new person, new blood. They can go, you gotta hear my story, and he's gonna be like, oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah.
We'll definitely take care of that. So sorry you went through that, right? And then you just exit stage left.
Yeah.
Right. You don't need to be anywhere near there. Bottom line.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yes.
And
exactly.
Continue.
Yeah, and it's nothing personal, right? It's nothing personal. It's nothing like that. It's just people being guests and being, normal.
People are peopling.
Exactly.
Customers are customering.
Yes. All right, so you have to do me a favor.
Yes.
And you have to just tell me the next time it pops up, use these tools, and it works, the success you have, you just let me know. Send me a message. Tell me what happened.
All right, you got it.
Yeah, DM me.
For sure, I will.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much
Thank
for being
you
here.
so
I appreciate
much.
it. Wait, before you go, I forgot to mention, right? You just got all this information. Sounds awesome. What do you do with it, right? How do I apply it into my business? Well, like I said before, I'm hosting a live event where I'm going to show you how to do it. And it's absolutely free. So you got the information. Now I want to show you how to implement it in your business and make it stick. Absolutely free. You're going to get a free workbook that you can fill out, that you can take action with. You just got to show up. For more information, see the link down below and keep kicking ass.